So the best showdown in a movie takes place in The Rock. My family and I saw this in 1996 in San Francisco after we had toured Alcatraz. So the final scene takes place in the lower lighthouse, where it's Nicolas Cage versus the final two bad guys. It starts with Nicolas Cage's cheesy line, "Have you ever heard Elton John's song, The Rocket Man?"
It's you. You're the Rocket Man.
And he detonates the final rocket, sending the bad guy out to sea. So then it's just Nicolas Cage and the last captain going back and forth, chasing each other around the lighthouse. And Nicolas Cage, who has played this meek, nervous, really hesitant character throughout the movie, pulls out the gas pearl of poisonous VX gas and shoves it in the bad guy's mouth. Boom. Then he has to inject himself with the atropine to save himself, and then signals with the green smoke to show that the threat has been neutralized. The ending just blew my mind because it came down to Nicolas Cage solo saving the hostages, the island, and in turn, Sean Connery's character.
A movie doesn't have to have guns and explosions and car chases to be exciting and even thrilling. Whiplash from 2014 is a great example of that. I mean, the movie is set in a performing arts high school, and the hero is a percussionist, and the villain is a music teacher. But even with that setup, this movie is pulse pounding. These two characters, Andrew, the student, and Fletcher, the teacher, these two guys have this really weird relationship throughout the movie where Fletcher is really pushing Andrew to be the best drummer he possibly can be, but he's really cruel. He's psychologically cruel. He's out and out mean at times, throwing things at Andrew. I mean, the guy, like I said, he's just a jerk. But by the end of the movie, they're both on stage together, and Fletcher tries to show up Andrew, but Andrew responds. He responds with this incredible performance. It absolutely blew my mind. And it just went on and on and on. It was so exciting. It was so cool what Andrew was doing. And by the end of that scene, he had taken the upper hand. He was in control over the villain who had been over him throughout the entire movie. Whiplash, 2014, a fantastic movie with a great showdown at the end that just blew my mind.
So the movie Showdown that absolutely blew my mind was in 1995's Robert Rodriguez film Desperado. Now Desperado was really when we got introduced to Antonio Banderas on the big screen, and man, he was special. Who's seeking out this man named Bucho, who in a prior movie, El Mariachi, had killed his love interest. And so Antonio is on a mission, and he's taking out everybody in his path. Along the way, he meets Salma Hayek, and they start a love interest relationship. What happens is the entire movie is set in pursuit of Bucho, and there is a big scene in the end where he is confronted by a slew of Bucho's men. They're coming over buildings, they're coming in cars, they are attacking him. And Antonio Banderas is joined by his two partners, and all of them have weapons in their guitar cases. And one of them has a rocket launcher in his guitar case, and he does a deep side lunge in this choreographed move. And this entire scene looks like a dance the way that it was choreographed. And he's taking out people with the rocket launcher, and eventually this guy gets killed and the other partner gets killed, and then he goes to find Bucho. And when he finds Bucho, they're having a stare down, and it turns out Bucho is Antonio Banderas' brother, and he's being held at gunpoint. Bucho is threatening Carolina. Antonio has his hands up. He's begging for Carolina's safety. And Bucho points the gun at Carolina to kill her. And boom, Antonio pulls guns out of his sleeves and takes out Bucho. And it was the epic movie showdown that absolutely blew my mind.